Welcome back to yet another episode of Before You Summon. We have arrived once again at White Day with our first female-only White Day cast. The event in question is Relaxing Tea Time that will run from February 28th to March 6th. But before we continue, I would like to make a small request. Could you consider subscribing and ringing the bell if these videos are helpful or entertaining? Doing so is the easiest way to support me, but with that, let's get back into the event. This is obviously a mixed event in the happy attribute, meaning that there is no commission song. The focus character for this event is Kanade, with supporting cast being Mafiu, Ichika, Minori, and Airi. And the event synopsis reads as follows. White Day is near and Kanade is thinking of giving return gifts to Enna and the others who gave her chocolates on Valentine's Day. She also wishes to give gifts to those who have helped her and took care of her. While thinking of what gift she should get them, Kanade finds out that Ichika is having a hard time choosing gifts as well. Following the event, we will see an Afterlive that will be available between March 6th and March 7th. Participating in the virtual live during the allotted time period grants you 300 crystals and a stamp. The stamp this time around of Kanade called ... Also available is a new virtual item. This time around, it's another headpiece in the form of a tea set from the story. And a headpiece, if you want to pick it up for your virtual live avatar, will set you back 3000 virtual tokens or 1000 crystals. We of course also have a gacha running alongside the event, being What Awaits After Battle, that will be available between February 28th and March 8th. And because this is our final event of February, this is of course a limited gacha, meaning that the cards will not enter the standard gacha pool once the event ends. And because this is a standard limited gacha, we will have 3 new characters, starting off with the focus character of the event, Kanade, and her card, A Cup for You.
じゃあ、入れるね。
Kanade is a perfect looker skilled card with the skill name What the Tea Party Gave Me, and perfect looker skill cards will change all bad or better tabs into perfect for 5.5 seconds and grant an 80% score bonus for 5 seconds at talent level 1. And of course, because this is a limited gacha, each one of the characters will come with a unique costume as well as a unique hairstyle. Kanade's new costume is called Fleeting Light Night Attire. Our second character in the gacha is Ichika with her card Before a Troubled Pair.
二人とも、いつからそこに?
Ichika is a healer skill card with the skill name Thank You Gift for the ones who have helped us. And healer skilled cards will recover 350 life and grant an 80% score bonus for 5 seconds. And Ichika's new costume is called Illuminated Courtyard Night Attire. And the final character taking a spot in the gacha is Mafiu with her card Bubble of Solace.
高校生が遊ぶものじゃない。けど。
Mafiu is a scorer skilled card with the skill name Fleeting Yet Lingering Feelings, and scorer skill cards will grant 100% score bonus for 5 seconds at talent level 1. And the final new costume coming with the Mafiu card is called Abyss Night Attire. Those are all the new cards added with the limited gacha tied to this event, but since it is a standard limited event, we will also have 2 exchange shop cards become available once the event opens. Taking the 2-star slot is Airi with her card Convey Through Words. And Irie is a score skilled card in the Happy attribute. This leaves us with the 3-star representative, and those keeping track will know that it's Minori taking this slot. Minori's call is called I Found This Too and is a cool attribute healer skilled card with the skill name Shearing for White Day. Both of these will become available once the event opens for the standard exchange of prices. This only leaves us with the Cheerful Carnival situation. As of recording this video on February 24th, Ian has not yet announced if this will be or won't be a Cheerful Carnival. With how things have looked on Korea and Taiwan, we are pretty certain that this will be a marathon event once again, meaning that the Cheerful Carnival teams are thrown out the window. But for Ian, if this will remain a Cheerful Carnival, we will have 2 teams pitted against each other. The question this time around is, which tea do you prefer, with the alternatives being herbal tea or ginger tea? And the winner on the Japanese server was ginger tea. But remember, just because one alternative won on the Japanese server does not mean that they will win on the Ian server again. But that covers all of the general information, so instead we can move on to the event team building. As always, the 3 limited cards added with the event gacha will grant the 70% bonus for being the focus cards of the event. And keep in mind, the 3rd anniversary changes to event bonus, as I will not account for these during the event team building. With that, let's look at the asterisks tied to the 2-star and 3-star cards. And this time around we only have 2 minor asterisks. The 2-star Mafia featuring Kogimin is of course a limited card from the Sanrio collaboration, and the 2-star Irie from the exchange shop of this event will also grant the 50% bonus. This means that if you're a new player without any alternatives to Irie, you can pick up the exchange shop card as soon as possible and gain another 50% bonus card. But that covers all of the asterisks, so let's get straight into the 4-star selection with our focus character of the event, Kanade. Kanade has 4 cards, 1 limited, 2 permanents, and 1 birthday card. Her limited card was released with the event Let's Enjoy Together Spoy Joy Park, with her first permanent card being released with the event Insatiable Pale Color, and her second one being released with the semi-recent event The Way I Played That Day. And Kanade also has a birthday card, hers being from the 3rd batch, meaning that it's her most recent birthday card. Our second gacha character, Ichika, only has 2 available options, both being permanent. Ichika's first card was released with the event Don't Let Doubt Hold You Back, while her second one was released with the event Echo My Melody. Our third and final gacha character, Mafia, matches Kanade with 4 available cards, 3 permanent and 1 birthday. In order of release, Mafia's first permanent card comes from the event Insatiable Pale Color, her second one comes from the event Mirage of Light, and her third one comes from the event The Way I Played That Day, with Mafia's birthday card being from the 2nd year batch. That leaves us with the exchange of cards, starting with the 2-star representative, Irie, who keeps up the pattern with 4 available cards, 2 limited, 1 permanent, and 1 birthday card. Her 2 limited cards were released semi-close together, with her first one being her Colorful Festival exclusive card, while her second one was released with the event Operation Secret Valentine. Her permanent one comes from the event at the end of Unraveled Threads, and her birthday card, just like Mafia's, is from the 2nd year batch. And finally, our last character, Minori, decides to take the middle ground with 3 available cards, 1 limited, 2 permanent. Her limited card was released alongside Kanade's during the event Let's Enjoy Spoy Joy Park, while her 2 permanent cards in order of release comes from the event Let's Deliver Hopeful Stage, and the second one from the event at the end of Unraveled Threads. And I really did think that this event team building would be worse than it actually is. There is a super solid selection of 2-star card and 3-star card for early to mid-game players to be able to achieve the 250% event bonus that we always aim for. Especially seeing as we have a 2-star exchange shop card with a 50% bonus, as well as 2 base set 2-star cards in the form of Ichika and Mafio. On top of that, the 3-star selection is actually quite old, meaning that you've had a lot of chances to actually pick some of them up. With that being said, the 4-star and birthday selection is a bit more rocky, but I wouldn't say that it's the worst thing we have ever seen, especially not in the context of mixed events. Of course, Ichika only having 2 available cards and Irie having 3 out of 4 of her cards be limited is quite a problem. But both of Ichika's cards are permanent, meaning that you could have got them through off-banner pulls. So while I think that most players might not be able to reach the 300% event bonus we can now achieve after the 3rd anniversary, I do think that most late game players will be able to reach the 270 to 280% bonus with a very strong team in this event team building. And with there being a solid 3-star selection of cards, you can always fall back on those if you have a gap in your 4-star availability. So while I definitely see that this event is stronger for early to mid-game players that are trying to achieve the 250% event bonus threshold, I wouldn't say that the late game experience is god awful, as the selection of card is actually quite sizable and decent with not too many limited cards stopping us. Of course, the fact that one option for both Matthew and Canada when it comes to 4-star cards are from a very recent event in the form of the way I play that day could be seen as a hindrance. But I do really feel like this event team building is at least decent, especially considering that this is a mixed event. But with that, I don't have much more to say about the event team building, so instead we can look towards the future usability of these cards. And as there is nothing new under the sun, one of these characters does not have any future usability, being Kanade. As for the rest of the cast, Ichika, Mafio and Irie all see use in a single event each, while Minori sees use in 2. Out of Ichika and Mafio, Ichika sees use first during the event Happy Enjoy Music. This event will run from October 31st to November 8th. In the gacha for this event is Saki, Honami and Ichika, meaning of course that Ichika is available with a 70% bonus, making the relaxed tea time card lower gameplay value. Mafio will then see use in the event Put Your Heart Into This One Stitch. This event will run from January 31st, 2026 to February 8th. In the gacha for this event is Shizuku, Mafio and Len, meaning of course that Mafio is also available with a 70% bonus during this event, making her relaxed tea time gacha counterpart lower gameplay value. Finally, Iris is used during the event Grow Glorious Glow. This event will run from December 11th to December 19th and has Shizuku, Minori and Murmur Jump Miku in the gacha. This of course means that the 2-star Irie is of higher gameplay value, as she's only ever available with a 50% bonus during this event. As for Minori, she first sees use in the event Rise as One that will run from the 30th of March to the 8th of April. And if you don't remember, in the gacha for this event is Kaito, Honami and Akito, meaning of course that the Minori is of higher gameplay value, as she's only ever available with a 50% bonus during this event. And the second event Minori sees use in is Lead to Shine More, which will run from the 10th of June to the 18th of June. And in the gacha for this event is Haruka, Shizuku and Kaito, making Minori higher gameplay value once again, as she is only ever available with a 50% bonus during this event. So Minori is definitely the winner out of all of the cards added with the relaxed tea time event. The gacha this time around is extremely weak, especially considering that the event Ichika and Mafio sees use in are limited events. meaning that both Ichika and Mafyu are getting new limited cards in the event where they see use. So the gacha from a future usability standpoint is very low value. But of course, you shouldn't care about gameplay usability or the perceived value of a gacha, as you should always pull from the gachas that make you the happiest. But if the lack of future usability puts you on the fence if you're going to pull from relaxed tea time, you do have a few other options when it comes to limited costumes for Ichika, Kanade, and Mafyu. So let's take a look at those alternatives. The first character to get a new costume is Kanade during the event over Rad Squad. More specifically, she is a Bloom Festival exclusive card tied to this event. The Bloom Festival will be available between June 30th and July 4th. Kanade's Bloom Festival partner is Meiko with Akito, Kohane, and Vivibad Squad Miku in the event gacha. This is followed by Mafyu getting another costume during the event Wonder Horror Test of Courage that will run from the 31st of August to the 8th of September. In the gacha for this event is Emu, Honami, and Mafyu. And since I forgot it last time Ichika showed up, I will not forget it again. Ichika will get a new limited card during the event Happy Enjoy Music that will run from the 31st of October to the 8th of November. Once again, in the gacha for this event is Ichika, Saki, and Honami. And of course, our final event is one that we've already mentioned as well, being Put Your Heart Into This One Stitch. As a reminder, this event will run from January 31st to February 8th, 2026 and has Mafyu, Shizuku, and Len in the gacha. And of course, you also have a few reruns you can pick from, but the selection this time around isn't that big. As always, remember that the second rerun of any given limited gacha is the final rerun before the cards enter the Recollection Festival. If you want more information about the Recollection Festival, a link to my video about it is in the description. The first rerun we will see is Escape the Rain in April, with its second and final rerun already confirmed for December 2025. We will also see a final rerun in April in the form of the Sporty Girl Gacha. In June we will see 3 reruns at the same time, with Under the Eternal Bells having its first rerun and Before the Storm as well as the Darkness Festa Gacha having their final reruns. And Under the Eternal Bells has its final rerun already confirmed for February 2026. This is followed by the final rerun of the Words in the Snow Gacha in July. Then we will see the final rerun of the Sweet Cute Valentines in September, as well as the first rerun of the Grow Up With Me Gacha in October that does not yet have its final rerun confirmed for the Japanese server. So, like I already mentioned, not a very big selection of reruns when it comes to Kanade, Mafyu, and Ichika. Especially considering that most of these have their final rerun confirmed or is approaching their final rerun date already. So make sure to mark all the dates of the gachas you want and plan your crystals accordingly, as some of these gachas are having their final opportunity to be pulled from before they join the Recollection Festival. But with that, we have arrived at the final question. Should you summon from the What Awaits After Battle gacha, and should you participate in the Relaxed Tea Time event? And the short answer is, as always, yes. If you love these cards, you should definitely pull from the gacha, and you should always participate in every event so you can pick up the great rewards available from them. And because this is a limited event, it of course means that these cards are higher value in citation marks because they are only available during this gacha, and then they get locked away until the first rerun arrives next year. And I think that this set is absolutely adorable. If I didn't have such an allergic reaction to pulling from standard limited gachas, I would have definitely considered going for this set. But I also see the opposite side, as my friend really dislikes this set because she doesn't like the short haircuts for Kanade, Mafyu, or Ichika. I, on the other hand, think that they are super adorable, and I especially like Kanade's costume and her little bow cut. But I would love to hear what you guys think about these costumes and this event. Do you agree that this is an adorable set for the White Day nights, or do you think that it's kinda underwhelming or even ugly? As always, I do try to read every comment, even if I do keep falling behind a little bit. And while you're down there typing away your comment, make sure you've left a like, share this video with a friend, and make double sure that you are subscribed. All of these things really do help me immensely in growing further and maybe one day making this a full-time endeavor. Of course, I also want to extend a thank you to all of my Patreons, especially my append players. These being Ollie, Charlie, Katie, Mia Marie 21, Opal Siren, Petterish, Ralmaru, Shoop, Snobby Hickory, and Veritas Uwu. Thank you all a ton for being here for me, and if you wanna join them in supporting me a little bit extra financially, a link to my Patreon will be down in the description. But with that, thank you for making it all the way to the end of the video. I will not keep you here any longer. Let's get out of here for the week.